to be doing my everyday makeup routine. Over the years, I've tried to stop wearing makeup on the days that I stay home just to kind of let my skin breathe, but on the days that I am going to be out and about, running errands, or going to work, this is usually the makeup look that I do. So, I have my big makeup bag here, and I'm going to be getting ready for work. So I first like to start by doing my eyebrows. I have just washed my face and I put on some sunscreen that also has moisturizer in it. So while that goes into my skin, I'm going to start with my eyebrows. The pencil I use always changes depending on what I can find in the store, but I always stick to a pencil. Right now I'm using the e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil, and I try to do a light shade because I don't like when my brows look too harsh in color. I do need to buy another one, but I've been holding off because I'm getting my hair dyed tomorrow and I don't know what shade will match my brows best. I outline my eyebrow very lightly. I don't press into it, just very lightly. Okay, so as you can see, I literally only have the outside of the brow done. What I like to do now is just comb back into the brow from where the outline is to kind of soften it up and move the color into the rest of the brow. And then I outline it again as to kind of create that definition I had before I brushed it out. And if you still need a little bit of product in through the brow, I just go ahead and lightly on the side of the pencil tap some in there. Alrighty. You can color in a little if you need to. Okay, and then now I'm gonna do the top part of my brow. Just outlining again, very lightly. Very, very lightly. Okay, now that both of my brows are done, I'm going to carve them out with some concealer. Okay, found my brush. So I use the Milani Conceal and Perfect Longwear Concealer in the shade medium beige, and then I just use a flat brush to carve out my brows. So I just take my brush, dip it into the wand of the concealer, and start carving out the brows. I just like the definition it adds to the brows, and I like how clean it makes them look, fresh and clean. There we are. I have been doing my own brows since I was about 17 years old. I would go get them threaded, but I noticed that every time I went, they would make them thinner and thinner to the point that my arch was like this thick. So I stopped going, and now I just pluck them at home. So if you ever see them get a little bushy or the shape is all wonky, just know that it's me. Okay, that's a nice arch. I like to blend the concealer downwards onto my lid so that it's not just a sharp white concealer line. You want to blend that in. Then you do the top of the brow too, so I start with the side arch and just go downwards like that. And then I take a little bit more and then do the top same thing here. I just blend the concealer outwards so that it's not too white near the brow. Okay, so after my brows are done, I go ahead and start doing my foundation. Before I start my foundation though, I do put on some primer. Right now I'm using the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I've been using this primer for about 2 years now, and it is amazing. It's the perfect amount of tackiness for your foundation to stick. I used to have a very tough time with my foundation separating, and it's because I was mixing like oil-based foundations with water-based primers, obviously making it so that the products would separate over like the course of like 10 minutes. By the time I was done with my makeup, I would get like splotchy. So I learned that in order for your makeup to have the best wear, you want to make sure that your products are compatible. So if you're buying water-based foundations, you want to be using water-based primers, and of course vice versa. If you're buying oil-based foundations, maybe an oil-based primer. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what has worked for me. But if you notice, my skin's a little bit tacky. Now I'm also going to color correct under my eyes. I am using the LA Girl Pro Conceal High Definition Concealer. It's the red color corrector or orange color corrector. I'm kind of new to this. I'm not really sure I know how it works completely. I have really dark circles under my eyes. I mean, they don't look so bad right now, but usually they're pretty dark. And under my concealer, you can still see like shades of gray if I don't color correct. Genetically, I've always had them, unfortunately. But when I use this, it still looks a little bit red underneath. I'm probably not using the right shade, so if you color correct and you know what shades work the best, let me know. I just put a little bit underneath my eyes. Okay. Then I take my beauty blender and I blend it out, trying to keep it within the eye frame though, without it going down into my cheeks. Okay, now that that's all blended out, I'm going to go in with my foundation, and this is the Too Faced Born This Way Matte 24-Hour Foundation in the shade Golden Beige. I really like this foundation. It is pretty, like, full coverage, but again, I try not to wear foundation if I can go without it. So currently, my face is a different color from the rest of my body. The rest of my body is pretty tan, so my foundation is also a little bit dark to kind of match the rest of my body. So I sometimes like to grab my ears a little bit and just quickly bounce over them with the beauty blender. And I then, once I do like my entire face and tuck my ears a little bit, I'll go into my neck to make sure that the foundation is blended in as much as it can be. But here it is. But yeah, I do like I said, like to do my ears because I don't want them to look too white compared to the rest of my foundation. But you can see here the difference in color. I'll do my forehead. Onto my lids so that they're not too white. Again, when I finish my makeup compared to the rest face. But I don't worry too much about them because I then do use concealer underneath and then I blend it up into the lid. But here is the neck. So I start off at the very bottom of my chin and jawline, and then I work my way down. And I know this might seem excessive, but I have just had so many pictures taken over the course of me wearing makeup in which my face is really pale and then my arms are really tan, and I hate it. But I try to get into this little crevice here so that it's blended in pretty well. And then I just drag the remaining out to the bottom of my neck and then just pat it in. And I know it's excessive, but it works for me. And I'm not saying I know much about makeup. I'm not a makeup artist. I just don't want my foundation to be like orange at top and then at the top and then white around my neck. But at least it's more of a continuous color now. Okay, now I'm going to do concealer. And when I do concealer, I always have my powder on hand. I used to use the Airspun powder, translucent powder from like the drugstore. It's like the one with the orange top. Now I've been using the Kat Von D mainly because I bought the Kat Von D primer and foundation like a year ago, and I bought the powder with it too. I don't really use the foundation anymore because it was very heavy and completely full coverage, and at the time I was dealing with a lot of acne, so it wasn't the best. But I still haven't run out of the powder, and I'm trying to go through it. So I have my powder on hand when I'm doing my concealer so I can set it before my creases start getting a hold of the concealer. So I have my concealer again, the same one I used to carve out my brows. I do a couple dashes here and there like that. And then I go ahead and blend it out with my sponge. And I try to go into my lid as well to cover up some of that color corrector we used right before. Put some in that little hollow, brighten it up. So this looks a lot better than this right here. Okay, so while I'm still looking up, because I don't want to crease my eyes, my under eye, I'm grabbing some powder and setting it. And then with the remaining powder, I'm just going to put it on my lid so it doesn't get too greasy. I do like this concealer. It's pretty creamy, a little bit on the thicker side, but kind of like that. So I forgot to mention this, but I usually crease a lot around my smile lines because I'm constantly smiling and talking, and they're just very apparent for me. I used to put concealer in the hollows of the wrinkles or the little crevices and blend it out, but I feel like it got really heavy and it started breaking out a little bit around that area. So now all I do as soon as I put my foundation and pat it in is grab some powder and set it in that area. Alrighty, now last couple things with concealer. I'm going to do a little flower and then take it down the center of my nose like that, and then just blend it in very quickly. I also like concealer on the forehead because it kind of creates that contrast between the bronzer at the end and the highlight of the forehead. I put it in between my brows so that it's not too orange there with my foundation. I take whatever is left on my blender from the concealer and tap it into the hold of my nose. Okay, now that we've done our foundation, set our eyes and our brows, I am going to go in with my bronzer. blend it into my hairline so that it's not just like dark here and then white, you know? Maybe it's just me because my hairline is not the best, but that's what I like to do. Alrighty, then take some more powder and in circular motions go around the hairline. See, like that. And I connect these two sections. See, it's like tan, pale. I still am a little bit congested from the last video. Turns out I did have strep, but then I also got the flu. So, but I'm feeling a lot better. I just a little minor congestion. Now we got like our forehead done and our cheekbones. We're going to do the nose. I use this other Morphe brush. I swear I had the number on here, but I can't. Oh yeah, it's the Morphe MB17 brush. Honestly, I've never paid attention to numbers. I just see a brush and like, that looks like it could work, so I'm gonna use it. But I know that all the beauty gurus used to be like, I'm gonna be using my ABC 360 brush, and I always thought that was pretty funny and cool. So I'm gonna dip it lightly and tapping it lightly and tapping it so I don't have any excess powder on my nose. But I'm gonna go down the sides of my nose. Just gonna make it look a little bit sharper. Like that. There we go, and I'm gonna try to blend it up into the brow so it's not just dark here. Blended this out, and I'm gonna do the tip. So just very lightly underneath the actual end of my nose, and then I'm just going to create a little line on top of it just to get the little pouty nose. But it's very soft. I don't want it to look too dramatic. Kind of like that. And then just tap it once with like my beauty blender so that it's not too harsh. Now we're going to do blush. And right now I'm using the Milani Rose blush in the shade 11 Blossom Time Rose. I don't know if I'm loving it too much, but I bought it and I'm gonna use it. But I used to use the Kylie Jenner, I forgot the name, but it was a very light pink and I really liked it. With this one, I'm a little iffy because it's not very pigmented and I have to go in several times to get any pigment. Alrighty, see, it's on there, but when I put it on, it's like not really there. You know what I mean? So it's kind of lame, but I'm gonna use it, like I said, because we paid for it. So it's getting there. It's getting there. With the other blush I had, the Kylie one, it was very pigmented. I would go in instantly, so I really liked that. But only like $22 for the big can. Compared to like the Urban Decay, which I know is also really good. I like that one as well, but I think one smaller bottle is about like $40. I think I might be wrong, but I love this because it lasts me a long time. It's a lot cheaper and you don't have to like spritz it. It's all just a continuous spray. So once I get my foundation and all my bases done, I like to do this before I put on my mascara and highlighter and powder. So I let this dry on my face and then I start setting just my T-zone areas with powder. Okay, so now that my foundation is a little bit dry, I'm going to take some powder and I'm going to very lightly just press into my forehead, my T-zone. So those areas stay matte and not shiny and oily, because I do get oily when I have makeup on. So, and then just set the bottom of my jaw. I also don't really feel the need to set everything else because I already have like my bronzer and blush on, and those are powder based, so I feel like that kind of does some setting itself. But now I'm going to do some highlight. So I use a fan brush and then I use the Ofra highlighter. I like it because it's very like champagne colored. Just take my highlight and then just dip my brush into it. Kind of like push it up against the highlight, and then I just, I don't know if you can see it, but go along the highest point of my cheekbone. Oh, you can't really see it on camera. It's fine. And then I do the tip of my nose. And then I do right underneath my brows. Like so. Now I'm going to do my mascara. So I just brush through my lashes with my brow comb, just to make sure that they're not overlapping and crossed over when I curl them. I don't know if that's important. I like to do that, but so I start curling at the very baseline of my lashes. And like so. And I give it a couple bumps just to get that initial curl in there. Then I move to like the center of my lashes. And then I move my way up to the top every couple bumps. Again, I repeat that a couple times because my lashes are pretty stubborn and straight and they don't like to keep the curl. So I gotta make sure I do my rounds and curl as much as I can. Again, I'm gonna go to the base. So a lot of the curl that I do, I focus on the base, because if you curl too much in the center of your lash, then it's going to be like, you know, like really broken looking, and it's gonna make them look a lot shorter. So I like to focus a lot on the base. That way the whole length of the lashes rest up against your lid, as opposed to being curled back. So I do a couple bumps. So once I've done that, I'm going to very, very lightly press some mascara into them, but I'm not actually doing like a full coat. I'm just giving it a little bit of a tease with the mascara. Just it. And then, by the way, I'm using the Lash Sensational Sky High Mascara from Maybelline, New York. Waterproof. Like I said, my lashes are very stubborn. They do not keep curls. So waterproof mascara really helps with that. While I already kind of put some mascara, the first layer of mascara on my lashes while I let them dry, feel that while I'm waiting for the first layer of mascara to dry, my lashes have lost a little bit of their curl, I will go ahead and pump some extra curl into the baseline again like we did earlier. But you have to be very careful about that, because if you have a lot of mascara on your lashes, you do risk accidentally ripping them out when they get stuck to the curler. So mine look like they held up the curl pretty well. I'm just going to go in with the second coat. They do feel pretty dry, so I think it's good now. I just kind of shimmy it on in. Like that. The reason why I wait in between layers to dry is because if it works differently for everyone, but if I put too much mascara on at the same time, it gets heavy and it's wet and it just weighs down the lashes, as opposed to going in sections, waiting for it to dry, holding the curl, and then putting on another layer. And this one seems dry as well, so I'm going to go ahead and do the second layer of mascara there. There we are. And then now I'm gonna start doing like the bottom mascara. Like that. I wish my bottom lashes were a little bit curlier. They're like very straight, so when I put on the mascara they just stick out. The celebrities' lashes that I'm obsessed with are Kim Kardashian's. Hers are so full and thick and long, and just the perfect amount of curl. She has beautiful lashes. Love her. Say this while I wait for my second layer of mascara to dry. I realize these are a lot of steps, and it probably seems like a lengthy process for a lot of people that are like, you don't need makeup, or it's too much makeup. Honestly, I enjoy makeup. I love the fact that it's a process. It's very therapeutic for me, and I have so much fun. I could easily just like do it really fast, but I enjoy the process of sitting down and just taking my time with it. Honestly, if I could, I would just love to use like a tinted BB cream, moisturizer, sunscreen thing as like a base and no foundation, but because I have really dark under eyes and because I do have some acne scarring that I'm still working on, I feel like I'm not there yet, but if I could, I would. If I could, I would. Here's the toughest part of the mascara is the third layer. I actually go behind my lashes for this layer to make them look as black as they can possibly look. So I actually already like how my mascara is making my eyelashes look right now, but I just like to add that extra layer sometimes. It depends on how much I want to struggle at night to remove the mascara, whether I do 2 or 3 layers, but here we go. And I just curl upwards with the wand. And then I do that again at the very front. And it is messy, so sometimes I wait until after the lashes are dry again to kind of wipe off the excess on the lid. But to kind of make sure that they're not too clumpy, I go in with my mascara tweezers, I call them. And I just kind of go through them and separate them as much as I can. These are my lashes with 3 coats of mascara. Usually I stop here, but today I'm feeling a little spicy, so I will usually play with like what I do surrounding my eyes. Sometimes I'll smudge some brown shadow across the waterline. Sometimes I will do a full liner and wing with like liner on my waterline as well. Sometimes I'll just go ahead and do like one little liner at the very corner end of my lid. Today I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just going to add something, not necessarily do an entire full wing and line my lid, but just a little bit of a flick at the end of my lid. just to kind of open the eye a little bit, but not necessarily do a whole wig. Alrighty guys, as for my lip right now, my one lip, as for my lips right now, I've been using a combination of these 3 items. These 2 are pretty old. I don't even know when I got them, but right now to line them, I'm using the MAC lip pencil in the color Soar. I don't even know if this is still being sold because it's kind of old, but that's what I use to line my lips. Then I go ahead and use the Wet n Wild Mega Stick in the color Cotton Candy. It's 565C. And I use this to kind of blend in the liner towards the center of my lips so it's not too harsh. And then I top it off altogether with the Selena Gomez Rare Thankful Lip Balm. What I do, line my lips first. So that's one side done. That's the other side of the lip. Okay, so I lied. I don't know if I'm going to be using this one today because I decided to line my entire lips with the liner. They look very plump. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Whoa, my lips look kind of good right now. But I'm just going to do a little bit, not a lot. Usually what I'll do is I'll take the lip gloss and just kind of like buff the liner into the rest of my lips, and then I'll top it with the tinted lip balm by Selena Gomez. But I'm just gonna add a little bit, not a lot. My lips tend to get very, very dry, so I always like a lip gloss or lip balm as opposed to like a lipstick. But I mean, that lip liner looked really nice, and then I'm just gonna top it off with some of the balm.